Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Our show today is A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. Today's topic, I'm very excited about this one. I always am. I don't know why I say that every week because I'm always excited about the topics that we share. Mind games, deepfakes, propaganda and the war on reality. Woohoo. I can't wait to get into this topic. I'm Caroline Heward. I'm absolutely thrilled and honoured to be representing Dr. Jacalyn as your host for today's show, which is USA Global's TV and Radio's flagship show. I'm a TV presenter for USA Global TV and Radio, and I'm also the resident therapist. A very warm welcome to our loyal viewers and friends at E360 TV, whether you're watching on the live or the replay, and our usual friends on social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. I have a wonderful full-time panelist all the way from Canada, Reverend Lydia Fajiris. She is a TV presenter in her own right and has her own French show, all in French. She's an author of bilingual self-help books. She's a registered nurse and a holistic nurse. She's an intuitive and spiritual healer. She invented Miracle Mist, which is patent pending, and she is the advocate for free rights. Let's welcome Reverend Lydia Fajiris, all the way from Canada. Hello.
Yes, I'm very happy to be here, especially today, and the subject is absolutely interesting. I love the subject. I'm very happy for that subject.
Oh,
I
thank
think
you.
it's a great show.
Well, I'm very excited because this is a big, big deal for so many people. But before we get into the topic, Reverend Lydia, please do share with our viewers a little bit about who you are and how you bring value to your clients.
Well, I am a reverend in metaphysics to start with, and I work with my two books, the volume called 111 Reflections for Thy Earth Odyssey. They are available on Amazon. I am a spiritual teacher. I work on personal transformation, introspection, mindfulness, and compassion, self-discovery. I invite my readers to engage into life through curiosity, clarity, and sense of sacred connection. I build programs from my books. I also celebrate weddings in the province of Quebec, Canada. I invented the Miracle Mist, which is a mist to elevate energy and to clear spiritual spaces when someone wants to carry a ritual. So it's patent pending for the moment. And if people have ghosts or low entities, low vibrations of their house, the Miracle Mist is really there for that. I also invented the Perfect Make incense some 10 years ago, which is available on Etsy.com. I'm ambassador for equality and country manager for Canada and French countries for USA Global TV and Radio. And it pretty much sums it all.
Wow, you have such a wealth of expertise that you're giving to lots of people around the world. Thank you so much for sharing who you are and how you help people. For me, I'm known as the Harley Street stress expert, and I help people best their stress. How do I do that? I work with root cause therapy and chakra psychology, how the mind and body connects, and what happens to the person physically, emotionally, mentally, and behaviorally when there's an imbalance. And the imbalance is the symptom. Many people walk around and they say, I'm not stressed. But then in the next moment, they're complaining about a relationship, that they didn't sleep well, a physical ache and pain, or they express different behaviors in terms of anger, resentment, frustration. And if this is a repeating pattern for them, it will seem familiar or be familiar. And that familiarity is how I work with clients. I work with them and identify where in their blueprint that occurs and break through from their blueprint to identify the root cause. I use root cause therapy and chakra psychology. I'm also a speaker, and I do both online and in-person speaking events. And I also provide lunch and learn topics for clients, corporate and companies, organizations, both online and in person. I help people break through what causes their blocks. So I can do that through all manner of symptoms. And I'm also a TV presenter here. I host this show, and I'm also one of 5 expert talking head presenters on USA Global TV and Radio. I think that about covers me. Let's move into the topic. Mind games, deepfakes, propaganda, and the war on reality. Today's world is a digital battlefield where truth is the target. I really feel that truth is the manipulation that we have to fight through and work out. We are with manipulated videos, fake celebrity endorsements, AI-driven scams, forced to question everything that we see and hear. We're going to dive into the psychological impact and the rising anxiety and the erosion of trust, where reality itself is being manipulated. How do we protect ourselves in an age where truth looks the same as lies? And just going straight into a very, very controversial question, Reverend Lydia, why do celebrity endorsement scams fool so many, even the skeptical? And I've been really caught out on a lot of these, and there are so many media stories of people being fooled by celebrity endorsement scams. What are your thoughts about this? Have you had any experience? Have any of your clients had any experience? What are your thoughts about this in terms of why is it that even the most skeptical of people are fooled?
Well, the thing is that celebrities are easy to imitate, because what happens is that, you see pretty much their true colors when they speak. You see pretty much how they are. And when they do not endorse whatever, and then all of a sudden they're all over the news, they're all over the media, they're everywhere. And but it is not true. Actually, those are fake news. So people follow them because you have those Hollywood stars that people think that whatever they say, they're gods. So they will not say anything other than what they say. So they say they endorse. So since they endorse, they will endorse automatically. So that is the way it works. So they need the people that actually want to manipulate reality actually use stars, actors, actresses, singers, whatever, athletes, they use them. And they say they have endorsed when they actually don't even know, and they did not even talk about the topic. But you now have AI. And with AI, anyone can endorse anything.
I'm so with you, Reverend Lydia, on the things that you've just shared. And one of the people that I can think of, and it's a UK movement, a British movement, is there is somebody called, and I'm going to name names because he's having a huge challenge with scam advertising and fake advertising with endorsing him as the person to go into Bitcoin. And it's Martin Lewis, and he's very, very instrumentally and well followed. He's on lots of British different talking programs, and he's very much in the limelight. And he has a rule, and I think it's amazing. He says he does not advertise anywhere on anything. He does not endorse anything. And that's one of the ways that he's got over it. And at the same time, many people have been fooled because he is what they call the person that is the money man. He saves people money on different understandings of how different companies work and when to buy different things, like on Black Friday and when the different tariffs are coming out. He's got particular focus on the energy tariffs in terms of the fact that we're being charged a lot of money. And it's a very British programme. And I know this is global, but there will be, I'm sure, those kinds of people, celebrities, because he is a celebrity now, that is being manipulated. And it's shameful because many elderly people, and that's what I want to get across, many elderly people, they don't know about how manipulative AI can be and how the scammers can work because it looks so real. How can we trust what we see or hear if truth doesn't seem to be truth? And does it even matter? My concern is that somebody that's, like, say, in their 80s may not question it because they see him on TV, they're recognizing him. They're, oh, Martin Lewis says it's good, so then we should go ahead and do it. And many people have lost lots and lots of money. What are your thoughts on that, Reverend Lydia?
I thought we're living the same thing, you and I, in both our countries, because every they use our Prime Minister, Mark Carney. They say that he endorses Bitcoins and, tries for us to go into Bitcoins and things like that. So there are many, many, many videos of Mark Carney telling us to buy Bitcoins, which is absolutely not true. So the thing is that we're actually, and we have many videos going around about Elon Musk uh, telling us to invest in so not to follow Elon Musk to start with. But anyways, the thing is that we have to be careful, and we have to tell our people that actually there is AI. We have to tell them the reality is not what it looks like. It is what it is. It is just fake. So we have to tell them that they have to know how to do research. Before going into something, they have to do their own research. Even if they have to even call the police, the RCMP. I do not know the police in the British police, but there's Interpol, things like that. They have to call those places where they know if they're dealing with a scam. But when there's a scam, when you suspect a scam, you have to actually declare there is a scam for them to stop those people at least. So they close those browsers and they close those websites at least. So if you can stop one, actually it's one down. That is the best thing to do. So people say, "Oh, I can't do anything about it." It is not true. Everyone can do something about it. The thing that you can do is that you dial those phone numbers that the police gives you, those helplines for scammers to stop scammers, and you do it. You actually tell on them. So you be the whistleblower of all those scammers at any time. So that is what we should do because we help our elderly by doing so. But we have to watch what our elderly are doing also.
Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia. Some very stern and wise words. We have to question and we have to make those calls. But one of the things that does bother me, somebody in their 80s and 90s that maybe not have all their faculties about them and they may be not so questioning. One of the things that I do, I'm a bit of a hero on this, is I put into Google, I've just had a call. I'm so literal. I've just had a call from Home Energy. Is this a scam call? It's about X, Y, and Z. And Google comes back because Google also has an AI attached to it now. And it comes back because it obviously has lots of different searches for the same subject. And it comes back with, yes, this is most definitely a scam, or do question it. And they give you some insights in terms of that other people have put that search in and other people have identified different things as scams. Also on Facebook, especially with sponsored adverts, if you see a sponsored advert of a celebrity endorsement, and that's global, that you feel is not right or it's a scam or you're questioning it, I usually report it saying this is a scam, especially as I mentioned the Martin Luther ones, because he doesn't advertise. But the examples that you gave, Reverend Lydia, of Elon Musk and your president in France, president in Canada, these are good global examples of how endorsements are being used and how we should be more vigilant. And my perspective is that if we detect or see anything, I usually make a search on Google and it comes back with some very wise words. So just looking further onto how we can be drawn into this scam so easily is, how do deep fakes fuel anxiety, paranoia, and mental health issues? What's your thoughts on that, Reverend Lydia?
Well, first of all, it does actually blur our reality because we do not know what to believe anymore. And it takes a toll on mental health because it actually deprives you of your money, because someone that actually invests into something, actually many people lose all their money doing those investments in fake investments. So they think they will do something good when actually they lose their life savings. So it takes a toll on their mental health. Many commit suicide. We cannot measure the impact that it has. All those scammers, we cannot even measure the impact. And if actually those scammers were just thinking for 1 second at the damage they are doing when they are doing that, they would never do it. Because the thing is that, they have to be deprived of a soul to do those things. Money is the only rule. So someone that actually does that is only ruled by money and does not have a soul. That is the way I see it.
Whoa, I so agree with you. And at the same time, Reverend Lydia, and we're just about to go over to our short commercial break, I strongly endorse what you've just shared. And at the same time, I've watched some documentaries about the deep fake videos and calls, and we're going to move on to that after the break and why they do it. So let's move over to a short break. If you have just joined us, come back after our short commercial break. And if you missed the first part, go back on the replay and find out what we've been sharing about mind games, deep fakes, propaganda, and the war on reality. See you in a few minutes. Over to our commercial break.
This month, our retreat on the Athens Riviera is an exploration of love, our relationships with friends, with family, with the community, and especially love of yourself. In this retreat, we're going to release all the fears, anxieties, insecurities that you may have right now that are blocking you from receiving and giving all the love you're capable of. So join me and a fabulous group of friends here at the Athens Riviera at the beautiful castle of Melisurgos in Lagonisi. And we are going to transform ourselves into gods and goddesses of love.
Hello and welcome back to USA Global TV and Radio, a woman's prerogative, in partnership with E360 TV. We have been exploring mind games, deepfakes, propaganda, and the war on reality. My full-time panelist, Reverend Lydia Fujiris, all the way from Canada. We have been having an interesting and fiery conversation about what's wrong on the war on reality. Let's go back very quickly into our conversation and our exploration. Reverend Lydia, before the break, we were looking at celebrity endorsements and how scammers are using celebrities to endorse their scam. Also, we've been looking at the psychological effects on people that are consuming these scams and the consequence of the financials to them. So let's look at how it can affect someone in terms of why they do it. So I want to turn the clock round and the viewpoint onto the person that uses deep fakes in terms of audio, so phone calls. So they will phone almost sounding like a relative or somebody that you know, and they're faking, they're cloning somebody's voice that you know, because there's many audios now that we use because of our times where we are audio recording, and the scammers creating deep fakes can actually imitate by taking your recordings that are live on air and recording if they phone you up and then sounding like a relative or somebody close and scamming you for money. So I just want to give the perspective that I've watched a number of documentaries on why they do it, and they do it for the money. And they don't have any thought, any empathy, any consideration, any sensitivity. It is a booming business for scammers. When I was young, we would lock all our doors and windows, and the burglar would come in through the door or the window, and it was dressed all in black with a balaclava covering his face and a swag bag. Now they get into your home without you having to do that. They get into your home by coming through your computer, your phone, your laptop, your iPad. So it's really scary. So I want to just look at the fact that they come through this way. So this deception, this digital deception, can affect trust in the media and in people, in ourselves. What are your thoughts about that, Reverend Lydia?
The thing is that we stop trusting people. We do not trust. We come to a point where we do not trust anyone. That is as difficult as that. My mother went through a scam where they called her to say my brother so called my mother to say he was in jail, that he had been wrongly arrested, and that they needed she needed $5,000 to actually get out of prison. My brother had nothing to do. He's not a convicted whatever. So my mother was really panicked. She called me. She told me that she needed to go to the bank to get $5,000 to get my brother out of there, and that someone would actually pick up the money to bring to the police station. whoa, that was the end of it because I said no. But it's so often that it happens that it happened to my neighbor, but he went to get the money. He went to get the $5,000 for his grandson. So the thing is that it is so often that you do not know. I have a friend that actually believed that she was going to marry this guy that was, somewhere in Africa. We don't know. It has nothing to do with Africans. It has to do with people that are not right. And the thing is that, she actually transferred, and I will not judge my friend and because I do not know how it happened, but she transferred $138,000 to him. So when you think
Scary.
she's in debt and she lost all that money and she cannot retrace that money. But that person actually just stole from her, and she was such an innocent victim. She just had been a widow. She was a widow only for 7 months or 8 months, and she was scared of being alone.
So this is a psychological impact. So thank you so much for sharing such a personal example of somebody that's very dear to you. And if anybody is watching the show that has experienced something like this, it's not that you're stupid. This is quite a common occurrence, and you'll be surprised how many people can be affected by something like this. I also had a friend many years ago before we got so AI technical, and she was scammed by somebody she was in a supposed relationship with. And she was telling me that she was getting poems and he was sending her lots of messages, and she was in text calls and sometimes calls for many hours, and she was really in love. And I didn't question it because this was a couple of decades ago, and I didn't really question it. I just says, oh, I'm glad you're happy. But now, if that same friend had come back and said those things, I would have said, that's a scam romance, forget them. And she didn't say anything for some time, not before she had parted with literally hundreds of thousands of pounds. And he had wiped out all of her savings. It was quite unbelievably catastrophic, and she felt embarrassed. And this is the problem. People feel embarrassed and don't want to say that. It is okay to say, because you'll be surprised even the most intelligent of people can get scammed in all sorts of ways. It is so easy. So never feel that you have been fooled unintentionally. These scammers are very clever, using deep fake videos and deep fake audio calls. And thank you so much. If you wish to raise or make a comment, if you have been scammed, I think it's important to share these true life stories so that we can make other people more aware. So could deep fakes, I'm just changing the wheel slightly, could deep fakes be ever used positively for, say, art, for instance, comedy, or even therapy?
Yes, it could. It actually could, because things are so drama lately that actually, we could use things for irony, for the fun of it, because nowadays the world seems so crazy, so ironic. The world seems so like, I was talking to someone today and I was saying there's no justice anymore. We look at that, there's a sense that there is no more justice on earth. So we have to find a way to stop thinking that there won't be better days. There has to be better days, because those days seem to be impossible to deal with, because what we see is so terrible. It is so horrible what we see in all the countries. It's so terrible what we see. what people get away with, and we wonder, will it ever get better? So we have to use AI, fake videos, to find humor in that, because humor cures a lot of things and it heals. So it will help people with this evil journey that we seem to be in on Earth lately. That is the way I feel.
Thank you so much, Reverend Lydia, for your incredible wise words and your passionate responses. It really is appreciated. This is a serious subject. It is a serious topic, and you will be surprised how many people are affected and suffer in silence. And that's the problem, because they feel fooled and they feel silly, stupid, foolish for being scammed. I do believe that there is some positives that the fake videos can be used for, like stunts, for instance, for celebrities in films, for therapy, for example, for people to learn about what they can do and what they can't do, for emotional regulation, also for art. So it is possible to not have to spend many, literally hundreds of thousands of pounds on sets which can be created with artificial intelligence. So it's not all bad, but then there is a hell of a lot of not great things about deep fakes. My thoughts are people fooled because the tech is too good? Or is it because we want to believe? And I firmly believe, my personal reflection on this is that inherently, I believe people are good and they wouldn't scam me deliberately. And yet I don't experience that in the world, because there are many people that are desperate, that can't find any other ways to earn money. And this is the way they earn money. And many people that are close to us in our close networks, our professional networks, and people that are very highly qualified to do what they do. So it doesn't choose the weakest, the most vulnerable. It chooses people within specific niches and fields. And if you're on social media, it is so easy. So I feel that it's because we want to believe that inherently they have good standards and good ethics in terms of what they're sharing. What are your thoughts on that, Reverend Lydia?
Well, I think is that people are good. Mainly, they're good. It's just that they take bad decisions. Some take the good people just they're taking bad decision over bad decision over bad decision. So a person will say, oh, that person is bad. It can be a good person that keeps on taking bad decisions. And that is it. So it does not make a person evil. It makes a person stupid. That is all. That's the way I feel. They just are like that.
We're coming to the end of our show, and this has been a very hot led debate. And there's so many things I wanted to bring up. And one of them is, if a deep fake can ruin your reputation, and we have seen so many celebrities, so many young children having their reputations ruined overnight by deep fake, using the face of someone and then the body of a pornographic star, and all sorts of computations above that and beyond it. Should victims be able to sue instantly? And this isn't really for us to decide what the law should be. This is really a thought of, should there be more power for people that have been manipulated this way in terms of deep fakes, portraying them as doing something that they actually haven't done? A quick fire answer from you, Reverend Lydia. What are your thoughts?
They should be allowed to sue, and the people should be arrested, actually, because defamation is terrible. So the thing is that they should be sued, they should be arrested, and they should go to jail for the damage they caused.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Deepfakes. They feel like they're the new weapon of war. They feel like they're more dangerous than bombs and guns. Deepfakes and digital deception are here to stay. We have evolved in our world globally in this way. AI is here to stay. So is our power to question, to challenge, and protect ourselves. In this war on reality, awareness is the first defense. Critical thinking is the ultimate weapon. Mind games are real. Will we play to win? Thank you so much for listening and for taking part and for hearing us out on our debate. Before we go, let's have our final words from Reverend Lydia. How is the best way to reach you? What's the best contact details to reach you, Reverend Lydia?
And the best way to join me is through email at greatdivinemother@gmail.com or on WhatsApp or by phone in Canada at 1-514-582-6882. And they can actually buy The Miracle Mist and my books on Amazon. My books are on Amazon, and The Miracle Mist is on Etsy, on my store, Holy and Holy. So that is the way they can join me. And my programs actually are, they just have to join me so I can talk to them about my programs on Zoom. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. You can find me at No More Stress at live.co.uk, or you can reach out and call me on +44 if you're international. If you're local, 07523 120 189. Please follow and connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook. Message me through either of those platforms if I can be of service to you and I can help you bust your stress. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I've had a blast. Thank you so much, Reverend Lydia, for your heart and passionate shares and your insightful shares in terms of the war on reality, mind games, deepfakes, propaganda, and the war on reality. We look forward to joining you on our next show, which is Monday next week at the same time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 7 p.m. British Summer Time. We're just about to, at the end of this month, we're going to go into Greenwich Mean Time, and that was on my mind. So thank you very much. Please stay safe and question. Be a critical thinker. Bye-bye for now, and over to our sponsors.
Have you ever felt unheard? Like your words float into a void, leaving you invisible and disconnected? How about feeling judged, when assumptions overshadow your truth, leaving you misunderstood and defensive? And then there's that moment when someone offers solutions you never asked for, dismissing your feelings and leaving you more frustrated than before. It doesn't have to be this way. Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, the listening mentor, understands. She's here to help you reclaim your voice, build stronger connections, and create meaningful conversations that inspire understanding and mutual respect. Through her groundbreaking books, online and in-person courses, and interactive workshops, you'll learn how to navigate life's most challenging interactions. Discover the power of elevated listening and transform how you communicate. Master setting boundaries and asking permission to protect your peace. Learn to recognize and release judgment, fostering empathy and true connection. Dr. Kerbeck also offers personalized coaching, one-on-one or group sessions, designed to fit your unique needs. Whether in person or virtually on StreamYard, her guidance will empower you to thrive. You don't have to struggle alone. The path to deeper connections and better relationships start here. Visit drjacalyn.com or usaglobaltv.com. Join a global community of empowered listeners and transform your life, one meaningful conversation at a time. Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck is the listening mentor. Start your journey today.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to TracyCramPerkins.com. Tracy Cram Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting. We're building bridges and changing lives, one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.